Hi, everyone. It's Jonathan.
And Brad.
And today, this is episode 5 of the Security Pod, where we're going to be talking about vests, duty belts, and just the gear that you carry when you're working.
Yep.
All right. Welcome to episode 5 of the Security Pod. Um,
5 episodes in.
5 episodes in. That's right. Yes. Wow. Already.
Already.
It's been 84 years.
It's been a blast.
Oh, sure has. Absolutely. So, today we're going to be talking about duty belts, vests, and just the general stuff you're carrying when you're working. I know a lot of people like gear when they're talking about security, and well, this is going to be the episode for you for sure.
Oh yeah. If you're into EDC, you'll probably really enjoy this.
Absolutely. So, both what Hansi and I have here are our vests and our duty belt setup. So, we'll be going over sort of what we carry, why we carry it, and why we carry it where it is, and just sort of different options, right? Of what you
Yep.
can carry when you're working, and also a couple don'ts of what not to carry and what not to wear.
All right. So I wear a couple of different vests depending on what I'm doing, but what I primarily wear, this is my PSP vest. It's inside of a LOF defense carrier. Absolutely great vest. It's got a lot of options. We have a big Velcro panel here in front. Allows me to put all kinds of patches, identifiers on there. What I really like is you'll see there's a little tab here in front. You can pull this tab away. There's like a small admin pocket in here. It's great for tucking in notes or any loose paperwork or whatnot. And then up top here, I have a actual pocket, like to keep my memo book in there.
I didn't know that there was 2 pockets there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so pockets are really handy. Unfortunately, you don't have a lot of organization options inside of the pockets, like no pen slots or anything like that, but it works. You'll see I have just my pens hanging out on the top of this sort of admin pocket here. Let's see what else. I've got my Motorola microphone. If you remember from the last episode, I talked about a hair elastic. You'll see the elastic does its job very well.
That's actually really smart.
Oh yeah, keeps the microphone in place. Yeah. I also have the it's kind of hard to see on camera there, but you'll see that there's a ear attachment here. I keep that always hooked up to the vest, so when I put the vest on, my microphone and radio equipment is plug and play. It's ready to go.
all good to go. Yeah. Perfect.
Let's see, coming down to the Molly. Again, kind of hard to see on camera. We'll start over here. This is a battery pouch. When I'm working late at night and whatnot, having batteries for the flashlights, the many flashlights I carry, is very handy. Okay. I recently added in this. This is called a Grim lock. It's kind of like a carabiner, but it hooks into the Molly. It only opens halfway and then it clips into itself. I put that on there for my COVID mask.
Smart. Really smart.
Pretty handy. This is the iTaco from HSGI. If you're familiar with their taco line, this is designed to put your cell phone in it. It's got some card slots down here as well. If you got access cards and whatnot, you can dip them in there. It's got another pocket up here, and in there, I carry an entry tool. This is a I don't remember what the brand is. It's from Sparrows. They're a lockpick company, but this is a quick entry tool. Works about 60% of the time on your typical office type doors. So if I need to get into an office in an emergency, no matter how the lock is set up, I can jimmy it in and push, or I can put it in between the door frame and pull back to bypass the lock.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. Again, you never know what you might need in an emergency if you're waiting for keys or something and you got to get in.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Moving along here. This is my little Nebo light. It's about to get real bright in here. Right. So we got 2 different brightness settings, and then should strobe red here.
So
just a great tool if you're working in an environment where you want to have a floodlight to illuminate a big area in front of you, but not put a ton of light downrange. That's why I have this guy.
As you can all see in the process here, this is Flashlight Man doing what
Yep.
Flashlight Man does best.
Flashlight Man. All right, yeah, this guy's great. We got lots of different lighting options with this light. I primarily keep it here. You'll see it swivels nicely up and down. I like to use this in red just to write my memo book at night and in the car and whatnot.
Yeah.
I have here my naloxone kit. I have 2 nasal spray guys in there. This is an LOF defense pouch. Pretty handy. I'll be honest. The best pouch I've had for naloxone is the one that naloxone actually makes and markets. It's a way better pouch than this LOF guy, but you know. Let's see, moving to the other side, I have here my IFAC. This is from 511. It's, I think, the UCR IFAC. It's actually designed to be attached to a headrest, but it's got MOLLE, attaches nicely to my vest. I like it because I can grab, rip, and pull it down, and everything I need is inside of here. Okay. And I'm all about patches and identifiers. I think this one's really cool. I got this from the patch panel. You'll see it's sort of red, and if you can sort of tell from the outlines there, there's some white edging. The red is reflective, and all of the white is glow in the dark. Ooh. Also got my blood type here, just in case something happens and I'm, unconscious, bleeding, they'll know how to help me. And lastly, over here, I have, this is another 511 pouch. This is my glove dispenser pouch. I have in here a ton of those black heavy-duty nitrile gloves. These are like 6 mil gloves. They're very dense. They're very, very difficult to rip. So if I'm dealing with like lost and found items, if I'm suspecting like overdoses from opioids and whatnot, those are great to use. Yeah. Let's see, moving just to the back here. You see I got another big patch on the back. I got this MOLLE goes all the way around and sort of interweaves into the back. My favorite part about this vest is how it sort of goes on. You grab this MOLLE patch here on the front. It lifts up, and you'll see the sides and sort of come around to the front. These side panels as well, they have ballistic protection inside of them, which is pretty handy. And the last thing I'll talk about this vest is the shoulder straps. You'll see they pad together really nicely. What I really like is the shoulder adjustments are actually in the back of the inside of the vest. So if somebody was to say, grab my vest and try to rip it off of me, it's not coming off. There's no way. Yeah. One more thing too, I'll talk about real quick. You'll see this sort of meshy white stuff. Apparently this material was invented by NASA. It's supposed to keep you dry. It's supposed to keep the vest dry. And yeah, before I had a PSP vest and I found my back was constantly itchy all the time. Since switching to this, I have not had a problem. So yeah, it's been great. This is a fantastic carrier, fantastic vest. This is my setup. I'm still playing around with it a little bit, but so far so good. Perfect. What about you, John?
Yeah, so what I've got here, a lot more of a simple setup. I'm a pretty simple guy. So I've got here is my Safe Life Defense carrier, and I actually have my work issued level 2 panels in here. But yeah, in terms of the carrier, this is a Safe Life Defense tactical carrier. It's basically your regular patrol MOLLE carrier. I absolutely love this thing. I think it's very comfortable. I originally saw this because another coworker of mine, my old job had one of these, and I was like, dude, I want this. So, nice. So the patches out front and the back here, they are not compliant. Well, the one in the back is not compliant with Ontario's regulations for security patching. It needs to be 10 centimeters tall. This is not 10 centimeters tall. This is just, I just put this on for the purposes of this video. These 2 patches I don't actually wear when I'm working. I wear my the company patch for what I work at, and another patch for another job I work at. So there's that. But I mean, all in all, these patches do look great too. One thing I do like about it is the Velcro underneath. It's hard to see, but there's actually Molly here, so you can actually weave Molly items through the Velcro.
Yep. Mine is set up the same. I don't know if it was easy to tell on camera, but
yeah,
I've got those laser cuts on mine as well. They're very handy.
Oh, absolutely.
I actually mount my badge at my other job onto them.
Okay.
So
yeah, I've mounted body cams on it before and stuff like that. It's really really handy. Got up here is a basic pocket.
nice.
Normally my phone and my notebook in here. Actually, that's a lie. This isn't actually a pocket for that. It only goes this far in, but that's because I like to customize stuff when I find shortfalls from what doesn't fit. This is actually made for a trauma plate to go in, so the pocket actually goes all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
But I'm not putting in a trauma plate, so
No.
I had more of a use to put a phone in and my notebook, and I
Smart.
didn't all the way down my vest to grab my stuff. So I just I sewed it. So flipped the vest inside out and sewed it. I'm a bit of a little tailor like that. So
Good stuff.
yeah. So starting at the top here. Oh yeah, no, I'll continue with the vest. So yeah, sort of what Hans has with his vest. The way my shoulder straps go, you've got this that opens, and then you can adjust it through here.
Oh, nice.
Not too much because I'll screw up my setup, but it sort of helps prevent it if someone were to grab on your vest and sort of tearing your vest off. It has a really nice breathable material inside. It's hard to see, but it is meshy. It's just it's a black mesh material. Very, very, very nice. Molly on the back. I'm personally not a fan of it. I don't have a use for it, but there was an option not to get it. And I'm sure it's useful in some situations, just nothing that's applicable to me. Got a drag handle here. Never had to use it. Also came with a little option for a name tape to put here. I've never felt the need to put on a name tape on the back of my neck, so I didn't. But yeah, so you got a drag handle here, which can be handy, I guess.
Oh, cool.
All right, moving on to the stuff I've actually put on it. Got here is a rescue me tool. I recommend anyone that's working any job that requires them to be driving a vehicle to buy one of these. Doesn't matter if you're doing security. I don't care if you're a mailman. You should carry one of these. So what it is it's essentially a rescue tool for yourself, and I guess you can use for other people as well. So it's attached to a clip, and you have to pull it off, and it actually does take a decent amount of force. I've never had this come off in any struggle or whatever. And what you've got here is a seatbelt cutter, and then on the front here is a window punch. So all you have to do is just push in, and it's very easy to use. I'm not going to screw up my table here, but yeah, very easy to use. Here, it's got a couple things in here actually. So this is a 511 Molly double handcuff pouch. I don't have handcuffs in here. I carry my handcuffs on my duty belt, but I did find a use for this because I don't have a naloxone pouch like Hansi does. So I carry
nice.
in here, nasal. I carry, I have my handcuff key in here as well.
Good call.
I recommend anyone that carries handcuffs to go out and buy a proper handcuff key, not the silly ones that come with your handcuffs. The only time I have my the little ones that come with my handcuffs is on my car keys, just because I don't want to be without a handcuff key if I have handcuffs in any way. This last one was actually issued to me from my old employer. I think it's really cool. It's called a door jam. You may have heard of it.
Yep.
Essentially, you can attach both ends to the doorknobs on either end of the door, and what it'll do is it'll prevent the door from latching when you close it. So it's pretty neat. I know a lot of the guys at my old job there, they all carried it. It was all issued to us. That was nice. What I've got here is a C-Toms Molly closed top tourniquet case with a Cat Gen 7 tourniquet. I'm not going to take that one out, but I've got another Gen 7 here that is in a 1011 or 1110 hard case. So Cat Gen 7 tourniquet, staged, in my opinion, the right way.
Yep.
Please don't carry it like this. It takes away it. I'll just make it very simple. It takes away precious seconds when you have to, if you have to use this, you have to turn the windlass, but it won't go anywhere if you've got that little strap in the way. So especially in a situation where you could potentially be bleeding out, someone else can be bleeding out, those seconds do count. Hence why it's staged like this. And then, you twist it. Then after that, I mean, yeah, then you can do it, right? But at least the important part, which is, tightening your tourniquet, that's already been done. So that's why I carry it like this. I recommend anyone that does carry it like this. And honestly, when I see people carrying their tourniquets, it's usually a good indicator for me to tell whether they've actually taken the stop the bleed course or not.
Yep, absolutely.
I've only got one pen in here right now. I normally carry two, and then I carry the rest of my duty bag. But yes, one of my pens broke, so I only haven't replenished it yet. So I have a pen here. I would like to carry it here, but it's just maybe I will. I don't know. Okay. New things, learning new things.
There you go.
Inside here, I've got a Leatherman Molly pouch that came with my Leatherman Wave multi-tool. I won't go too much into it, but out of all the Leathermans I have come across, this one seems to be the one that suits my needs the most. It's fairly simple. I enjoy it. I've used it every now and then. And this is my vest. I absolutely love it. I'm still internally drooling about Hans's LOF defense vest, although they are pretty costly, right? So
I'll say this: for what I paid for the carrier, I could have bought another PSP vest.
Yeah, exactly. So hence why, I find this is a nice option. Safe Life Defense is a fantastic company. They're out of the States. I think they're out of Vegas, or at least Nevada. Yeah. They recently actually their armor also is pretty popular, and they recently became NIJ certified. So they've got level 3 armor. They've got or 3A armor, and then they've got a 3 plus, which can stop a few more rounds, I guess, or a certain type of like a variant of a certain round. I don't know too much about that. Hans knows more about that. If you refer back in our older video, I personally don't see the need of carrying a level 3A vest for what we do. That's why I'm totally fine with my level 2. But honestly, I mean, if Safe Life has a nice sale going on, you might see me getting a 3A just to have, because I know I've heard nothing but good things about Safe Life Defense. So I definitely, judging by their carrier and the quality, it's I firmly agree with what I've been told. If the panels are just as good as the carrier, then you're well protected for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got 2 other vests. I'll very, very, very briefly just show off. John Carroll will appreciate this guy. This is an internal carrier. Depending on what I'm doing, this is a great option. Very plain. Got another a pocket here in front for a trauma plate. I've got a trauma pack in here if it'll come out. Here it is. So that just helps with dispersing back face deformation. So all of my vests, I have trauma packs in them, front and back. You'll see it's cut just a little bit differently so that it conceals very well under the shirt. And got little ducktails here that you tuck into your pants.
I hate those. I absolutely hate those.
I know, but they work. They work.
They always end up getting untucked for me, and then I they're just out.
True. And then I got this guy. I usually wear this when I'm teaching. And just because I got my instructor patch on here, and this is a cool vest. This is the I got a 3A panel in here, a couple 3A panels. I got this from, what the heck is it called? It's right on Ascot Uniforms. They're the company that makes carriers for Durham Regional Police. It's all custom made. It's very cool. What I like here is the elasticy buckles. So the carrier moves and breathes with you as you breathe. It expands with you, again, helping prevent that back face deformation.
Yeah.
A couple of pockets across the top here. We've got a big wide pen slot, patches on the front, and we got just this generic patch or pouch right there.
Yeah.
And some patching on the back. Again, not Ontario legit, but doesn't matter if I'm teaching a course. It's okay. It's a little different.
Before we continue, before everyone notices that I'm sniffling and on the verge of sneezing, I just have allergies, seasonal allergies, not COVID. Allergies still exist, and it happens. So I'm just fighting through that internally and trying not to sneeze on camera. So.
Yeah, me too. I got a little bit of nasal pressure, but all in all, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, duty belts?
Duty belts. I'll start.
Okay.
So, what I've got here is my lovely Uncle Mike's duty belt. This is the outer belt. I have the inner belt somewhere. It's an inner belt. So, if you've seen an inner belt, they're all pretty much similar across. So this
is an inner belt.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So this is generally what I carry. Actually, the site I normally work at right now for security, I do not carry a baton. So I did put this on just for the purposes of this video. For my other job, though, I do carry a baton. So what I've got here, I'll just, it's a very simple setup. I try not to carry too much on my belt. Same with my vest. I carry what I noticed that I've needed over the years, and then that's pretty much it. So what I've got here is obviously you've got your, I'll start up here. Okay, so the buckle going to my left, got a Zap Tool clip. I absolutely love this for anything here with me too. Oh, there we go. Got a nice USB drive that may or may not have some really wicked shows on it. Thank you, Dad. Oh, it's too small for it. Okay. Well, either way. So yeah, you clip your keys onto here. It's all one-handed operation. You just pull them down, and it's hard to see, but so yeah, it has a little lip right here. So you just pull them down, and this will open up. And you clip it, and then when you're pulling them out, all you have to do is just push on this plate a bit, and then the keys will come out. Yep. I absolutely love them. I use it all the time. Next up here, I've got this is a Hero's Pride duty handcuff case. This is actually issued to me by my employer, and I like it. I normally use Uncle Mike's, but I happen to really like this one. So what I've got here is my Smith & Wesson model 100 M100 ones, which are the lever lock Smith & Wesson cuffs. In my opinion, in terms of black cuffs, these are the only ones I actually will carry in terms of black cuffs. I know we mentioned that in the previous video, but I don't know. I'm looking through my cuffs. I'm just playing around with stuff now. I have some black peerless ones, and they just happen to rust on me very quickly, even with proper maintenance. So I don't understand what's going on there. Maybe they got to work on their finishing and stuff. But
yeah, so the black oxide is really bad for that. I think those Smith & Wesson cuffs are made of a different material. So
I really like these, and I have a few, quite a few Smith & Wesson handcuffs. What I've got here is a Uncle Mike's OC spray case. And before you all freak out going, "Oh, Jad's got an OC spray," no, he doesn't. So I carry probably what I use the most on my belt actually is hand sanitizer. As you can see, it's almost empty because I use it a lot. Honestly, I use every single time I touch anything. And yep. I lately I've just been a little weird. When I see someone else touch something, it makes me want to sanitize my hands, even though I haven't touched anything. And you know what? The time we're living in right now, I can't be too careful. I know my hands are going to get all dry. So the next thing I'm going to be carrying is probably hand lotion or something on here. Next, what I've got here is a swivel radio, at least the The doohickey.
I have my pouch. You'll see it. So
Yeah, you know what you're talking
if you
about.
don't understand what you're looking at with John's, I'll show you.
Yeah, so a swivel radio pouch will connect to this, and I don't carry radio too often anymore. But when I do have that there, just in case I do have to carry radio, then I don't have to sort of fiddle around with everything. I've got the actual pouch in my duty bag, so just the radio in, clip on, good to go. Same with the earpiece. I have an earpiece in my duty bag. I really recommend carrying an earpiece. I don't know. For some reason, I have trouble hearing radio when it's not an earpiece. I was called Mr. 10-9 at one point, which is 10-9. If for those that you don't know, is the radio code for repeat, asking someone to repeat. So they'd say something like 10-9, and then so that was all mitigated once I used the earpiece. Yeah. So what I've got here for my keepers actually. So I recently did a video review on these fourth generation tactical suspenders from 901 Gear, and these are absolutely fantastic. For suspenders, I'm definitely not going back to what I was using before, which was high tech, which, I mean, they were fine, but these knock it out of the park with comfort. You can check it out on 901gear.ca. We also have a coupon code, CSPN. That's all capital letters, and you get 10% off all products on 901 Gear except for duty bags and boots. But I mean, who doesn't like savings? So
yeah, absolutely.
In terms, I do wear suspenders, but it's honestly kind of depending on my mood. It's kind of weird, but some days I'm okay with it. A lot of days I'm not. Depends on how I'm feeling. So I normally just use belt keepers. And these belt keepers, let me tell you, I bought these like 8 years ago, back in like 2012. These are Uncle Mike's belt keepers. Might be a little scuffed up because they're like 8 years old, and they're not nylon or anything. I'm not actually. They're like a sort of like a plastic polymer sort of material, but these have held up. Like these have held up better than anything I carry on any of any of my gear. So these I absolutely love these. These I'm in terms of belt keepers. I don't think I'm going anywhere else ever.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I carry as my belt keepers. Love them. I recommend anyone that does carry a duty belt with any form of gear to wear belt keepers, just to prevent your belt from detaching from your inner belt and just sort of sliding around there. Next up, I've got a Leatherman Raptor sheath or hard case for the belt. There's also an attachment for Molly, which I'm sure Brad will show us. But this one, I only have one for the belt. And I've got the Leatherman Raptor. This is great simply for, my opinion, medicals. They're a pair of trauma shears, right? So you've got trauma shears, and we've actually got, I believe it's a ring cutter down at the end here.
Yep.
So that's pretty nice. When I close it up here, you also have a window brake just down here, or up here, and a seatbelt cutter, or some sort of cutter.
Yep, seatbelt cutter. That little square there is actually an O2 wrench as well, if you didn't know.
Yeah, I was about to. Yeah, it's really great, and also just noticing this now, just a basic little, just a mini ruler, which is kind of nice. So
handy.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, only use for these, in my opinion, are for medicals, or if you just need to cut something with scissors. But I love them. Also, with this case, you can put them in open. I think I'm putting them in right. There we go. Yeah. So if you're using them real quick, you don't have to fold them up. You just put them back in. There's a little retention piece here that you have to push back in order to take them out. It's absolutely great. So that's what I carry on this side. Next up is the Olight. Just so I don't offend flashlight, I'm going to read up the Olight M2R Warrior. So did I say M-Light? Olight M2.
Olight.
Yeah. It's a rechargeable flashlight. There we go. Am I blinding you, Brad? There we go. Yeah. The main reason I got this is because it is rechargeable, and I don't know if I have the charger here. But I do. Okay, it's very simple. Your button there that you use is also where you put the charger. So it's really handy. I love it. I think I'm a little bit beyond paying for CR123 batteries now. From what I was told from a friend actually that works at a tactical store, apparently they sell CR123 batteries that are now rechargeable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Many of the smaller Olights.
Yeah.
Just a CR123 rechargeable battery in here. This guy's rechargeable, the same one you have.
Okay.
Just magnets onto the bottom there, and away you go. You can plug it into a USB device.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Last up I've got here is my my ASP or ASP, depending on who we are. 26-inch friction lock baton. This is not the light version. This is the regular, I guess, steel one. And then I've got a swivel scabbard here. Really great, and it's got a little clip here. I know some of the older ones did not have a clip, but this one does have a clip, so you can quickly take it off. I've never had it fall out. In terms of the baton itself, you know, it's an expandable baton, so 26-inch. Depending on who you are, for a while I did carry a 21-inch. I just found that in terms of using it for as getting any leverage or whatnot, I found that the 26-inch did a little bit better for me. Plus, you get extra reach. I've got
Great back scratcher, I'll say that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One time I did use it as a back scratcher, and I couldn't close it in the car because I was in the car, and because I'm not going to put a hole through a floorboard. So there I was, just with it, just in my passenger seat as I'm driving, and I come out, and I'm just like, click. I just realized now that I expanded it, I'm not going to ruin my floor, so I'm going to have to close this outside. Great job, John. I've got some fond memories also. I had a cat once that had somehow mysteriously ended up in my security office, which was not normal. We did not have a pet cat for the security office. And it was a cute cat. I chilled with it until Bylaw showed up, but we were having trouble getting the cat out. Bylaw showed up, and cat was sort of in a spot where you couldn't reach. So he was trying to poke him out. So we expanded his baton in a non-threatening way before anyone freaks out, just to poke it out. And I was like, great idea. So I also did so, and just like, and the cat finally came out, and it was a great situation.
Nice.
I was using a non-threatening manner. We were just it was a little poking stick. So that's my duty belt setup. It's pretty, I would say, simple. I've seen people with a lot more on their belt, and I try not to. I've heard of the Batman belt syndrome. I try not to be Batman. I find everything I carry on here has its purpose.
Yeah. I like that. It's good. You don't want to be carrying too much gear, because then you become that guy. And some clients, they don't like it. It sends the wrong image. Yeah.
I just remembered. I actually forgot to mention this pouch. So this is just a glove pouch. So it's just for medical gloves. I highly recommend you carry medical gloves. I personally don't carry black medical gloves just because if you're doing like a wet check or a head-to-toe assessment, there you got to make sure that you can see the blood on your gloves. I'm sure Brad carries some non-black ones too.
I do, and I'll get into that when I get my belt out.
Yeah. In terms of black med gloves, they're totally fine if you're just picking up something gross. I completely agree with that. And I know C-Toms. I'd have to find them. I have them somewhere, but C-Toms make some pretty nice med gloves that are really heavy duty, and they're surprisingly really thick, and they're good for stuff like that, especially when you really want to. You're really passionate on your gloves not ripping on you and you being contaminated with whatever you're touching. So.
Absolutely.
And those C-Tom ones I saw that I have, they're tan actually. They're kind of actually my skin color. It's kind of.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll get into my belt real quick. So I have a bit of a different belt here. Get this on camera real nice. This is a Safariland 94 duty belt. It's a buckleless belt, a little bit different. This is a laminate material, so it looks like leather. It's not leather. The big concern with leather these days is bloodborne pathogens. You touch something gross with your hands, your medical gloves, whatever, or it's in the air and it gets onto your leather and then it stays there. Because remember, leather was something else's skin at one point and it absorbs. So, you know, food for thought. It's a very rigid belt, although it's hard to sort of tell that on camera, but it is a very, very rigid belt. The me holding it here is not doing it justice. Normally what I do is the items here on this side, I have them over loop onto the top. So I'm wearing literally gear from arm to arm across the front. And I'll show you guys in a photo, so it makes a little bit more relevant sense.
Yeah.
But I'll get into what I carry here. Nearly every one of the pouches on the belt here is either Safariland of the same material, all button free, I guess, on the outside, so they all sort of look the same. It's uniformal. It all goes together. But I'll start here. I also carry a Leatherman. This is the
Leatherman Butterfingers.
Sorry.
The Leatherman Butterfingers. That's
Butterfingers.
Yeah.
Definitely Butterfingers today. So this is my Leatherman mutt. In terms of security work, it's got its pros and cons. The reason I carry it on my duty belt is I really like the seat belt cutter function right here. It's actually designed to cut through flex cuffs, but works great for a seat belt cutter in a pinch. I also got a hammer here to hit things with. The blade on this guy is actually like a full proper size blade. If I ever forget a pocket knife, this is very handy. What I don't like about this is the partial serrations. Being an EDC guy, it's either full serrations or no serrations. That's just my opinion. We've got a little screwdriver bit there, and we can open it up and you'll see there's a big set of like full-size pliers. Very handy little tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been carrying this thing for probably 10 years. It's a fantastic tool in that regard. Now, next to that, over here, and again, I normally carry these right in front. This is my Olight flashlight. This is the M2R Warrior Pro. This is pretty much like Jonathan's light, but the Pro version in olive drab. This is not normally the light I carry in this pouch, but it's charging right now, so I have this in here instead. What I like about this is it's got a striker bezel. If I got to get, aggressive in a situation, that can be a very effective defense tool.
Yeah.
Right? If you got your flashlight out and things get out of control in an instant, great. What I don't like about these flashlights are the tail cap buttons. I normally like tail cap buttons, but I like them when they're big, soft, rubbery, and spongy and easy to push with gloves and, things that might get in the way. Again, just my opinion. I normally have the M1X Striker from Olight, and it's got that big spongy rubber tail cap. So if I'm wearing really heavy gloves, you can still depress it very, very easily. Moving along, I have here my ASP 21-inch in the same kind of scabbard John has. Mine's a basket weave, though, for some reason. I couldn't find just a plain one. Still looking for a plain one. But it works. That's really all that matters.
Okay.
It's a little different about mine is I have two different tail caps. This first one is a leverage cap. I'll explain that in a second. But I have another window breaker tool if need be. Now, I know you're thinking, well, wait, you have a hammer on that thing and you probably have a Leatherman Raptor. Why do you need this? This is different. This will actually go through a windshield. So if I'm in the unique situation where I have to extract or do some kind of medical through a windshield or get into a windshield, this will go through the windshield. And you basically strike it to create a box hole and go through that way. There are videos out there that sort of explain it. Now, the ASP leverage cap gives you something to grab onto. which is a little weird because the ASP course encourages you to hold it up here. You have the leverage cap. You can put your thumb or your pinky finger around the bottom there, and it gives you a better grip.
Yeah.
Best thing about the leverage cap, if somebody tries to grab it and take it away from you, it's not going to slide out of your hand. Whereas if you had a plain tail cap, it comes out and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you got nothing sort of at the end here, right? It's just right.
Yeah. So definitely like the leverage cap. I think Monadnock, they have a baton that has a similar. I think it's called the Hindi cap. Same idea. Let's see. Back to the belt. Moving right along here, I have another flashlight. Now, I don't always have this guy on my duty belt. It depends what I'm doing. Often this just stays in a bag in the car or something. But this is the new Streamlight Stinger 2020. A little bit of a different concept when we think of flashlights in terms of design. You get a way better grip with this box grip. And you got a nice spongy tail cap button here. Nice spongy front side button here to turn it on off. And just a really, really simple high, medium, low toggle switch on the front. So you can go right from low to high and everything in between without having to, triple tap the back of a button and, get what you need out of it.
That's one thing actually about flashlights that I kind of miss is just the simple design. Now, like, there's so many, like, the light I have there, I know I've got different, like, brightness functions, but I just, that's why I don't touch. There's another button near the front of it. I don't touch it simply because I don't want to start playing with settings that I don't want to play with. I simply want the damn thing to turn on.
Yep.
Turn off.
No, I totally agree. This guy is set up really weird right now. I like it for certain things. I normally EDC this, but like I said, this normally isn't my duty belt, but it's in there right now. The back tail cap here is like a 2-stage. So you push it down to get high, and you push it all the way to get strobe.
Okay.
Big pain in the butt. And then you got this button here on the front, and that's where you get all your other, high, medium, low, various settings from. It's pain in the butt. I'll be honest. It really is. This is the probably simplest flashlight I've ever owned. You get on, off, and then high, medium, low.
Yeah. That's
and
nice.
if I want a strobe, I just double tap the button. I've only got to remember one extra step. So it's pretty handy. And again, it's all in a Safariland type, buttonless pouch. Moving along here, John mentioned a radio swivel case. So that's what this is. You've got your swivel attachment here on the belt. I don't always have this. If I'm not wearing a radio, then I don't need it. But to attach this to the belt, it goes on upside down, and it swivels. I like this because this is the only thing that sort of goes near the back. And if I'm sitting in a car, it moves, it flexes, it moves around. It sits away from the body too. You got about an inch gap there. So your body's not absorbing any radio waves and whatnot that can be harmful from the body. This is a Motorola pouch. This is probably one of the few pouches that isn't a Safariland pouch, which is why it's got the button. But it works.
Yeah, when you mentioned the swivel there, actually, it's I think I spent like maybe the first like 6 months of my doing security with a non-swivel pouch, like no, but it was liberating having a swivel pouch afterward.
Same here. I had a really simple, like an Uncle Mike's universal one, which was really just a bunch of nylon Cordura straps. And I had to modify it to fit this. We had these massive Motorola HT radios way back in the day. It worked. It did its job. But as soon as I got a hold of one of these, game changer.
Yeah. And one thing I love about the swivel as well is personally, I like to cock the radio slightly forward when I'm like adjusting the volume or anything like that. Instead of it being straight down, it's a little bit more awkward.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
Moving along here. This sits more in the back. Now, normally where my arms dangle, I don't have anything. I'm just playing around with this right now. If I was to say go into work, I would actually take this off just because. But I'm just playing around with the idea of carrying a second pair of cuffs right now. And in here, I have a pair of Peerless 700Cs, nickel-plated handcuffs, chain and swivel. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of carrying two pairs if I don't need to. It is what it is. But
a good point there. Hold up the back end of your belt. Just the notice how there's nothing there, everyone.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, a lot of my pouches would be from here pushed forward once the belt is on, because I don't have that gap in the front. So this gap typically was a lot larger.
So there's a reason why you want to keep this as empty as possible, and it's do you want to mention it?
Yeah, if you fall backwards and you have gear here, you can sustain a very serious back injury. It also contributes to what the heck is it? It's right on the tip of my tongue. It can contribute to weight distribution issues with your spine, and it contribute to what is it? Degenerative disc disease, which I actually have. Not fun, probably from carrying a duty belt improperly all these years. But you know, you live, you learn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is pretty much all on my left side so far. So this would be the back. Coming over to the other side, or sorry, right side actually. This is the left side. I have a Zac Tool key ring here, just like John showed. Normally, this is where I will carry if I have like a pair of sight keys or a pair of keys that I'm just temporarily in possession of. I'll throw those there. Typically, given what I'm doing as a peace officer, I'm not carrying keys, but it's here just in case I need it.
Yeah.
Moving along, this guy here, this big, heavy-duty, bulky-looking guy that looks like a handcuff pouch. It's actually meant to carry handcuffs. I carry more medical gear in here. Couple of CPR disposable face shields, and then I carry high-quality purple nitrile gloves. These ones, again, just like the black ones, are very, very dense. These are surgical grade gloves. And just as John mentioned, when you're doing your secondary assessment on a casualty, it's really important that you have not black colored gloves so you can tell if you've discovered bodily fluids, blood, anything that's hemorrhaging from the body.
Yeah.
Right. Moving along here, I've got my Leatherman Raptor. Again, John already showed that off. This is a duty belt case, just like John's. I've got a couple Molly ones around here. Just to quickly sort of explain, it's really hard to see on camera here. I'll try to find a good angle. The bottom on the back here, on the Molly ones, they hang down much lower and they have big hooks to hook into the Molly. Yeah, so you can, again, see it a little better on John's camera there. So the Molly ones, they hang down much lower than the actual case does, and they're designed to hook into the lower channel of Molly on your vest or a bag or whatever. Yeah, so if you're wondering why, hey, mine don't fit on a duty belt, why is that? It's because you have the Molly ones. Pro tip, if you call Leatherman Canada and say, hey, I need the duty belt one, I bought them and it only had the Molly one, they'll actually send you a second case for free with the duty belt attachment. So that's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving to the front here. Let's see, where are we? All right, this guy here. This is an OC spray case. Again, Safariland laminate leather look inside of here. Working security, I have hand sanitizer. If I'm employed in my other position, I do have OC spray in here. So again, COVID, right? Even pre-COVID, I was still carrying hand sanitizer. You never know.
Yeah.
Especially working in places like Toronto or Ottawa or Kingston, everything in between. I also keep my handcuff key in here. Right? I'm a big advocate of having a nice long handcuff key. Yeah. And I highly, highly suggest if you're carrying a handcuff key, don't dangle it on your belt where people will be able to see it. I see a lot of people will dangle these on the front of their belt. And the problem with that is you get into a vehicle collision. This can stab into your leg and puncture an artery or a vein. Yeah. Okay. The other side of this, let's say you arrest somebody and you're alone and you don't realize that their buddy is hiding in the bushes waiting for you. And now you're outnumbered 2-1. I don't want them to find my handcuff key. I want the guy to run away with handcuffs on so that anybody who's coming to back me up is going to see that guy running with handcuffs and they know, hey, that's the guy. Go get him.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want them to waste time taking the key off my belt, unlocking the handcuffs and walking away. I want them to search hard for this if they have to find it. All right. Let's see. I have my tourniquet pouch here.
One thing to add on to your hand sanitizer thing, yeah, super important for sure. Carry it. Even before COVID, I was carrying mine.
Yep.
Like first year security, and there's a reason why. It's stuff's gross. There's gross stuff everywhere, right? So it's literally the thing I use the most on my belt. I'm not arresting people every day. I'm not. Actually, I'm rarely arresting people now. My med gloves, I don't deal with as many medicals, hopefully, thankfully, baton, never, hopefully, stuff like that. But hand sanitizer, at least like 10 times a day, if not more.
Yeah.
While parking it. It's super important. Super.
Oh, absolutely. I carry a lot of medical gear, but you never know, right? I mean, you might be having a really quiet shift one day.
Well, I'm off today, so
there it is.
Sorry, Cole.
Sorry, Cole. Sorry, everybody. All right, moving to the front here. This is where I carry my tourniquet. Again, I have the 1110 case, just like John. I decided to replace the patching here. That's actually a patch, if you didn't know, that rubber PVC thing. I went to a custom patch maker and had them put a reflective one on there with a little bit of glow in the dark on the edging, so it stands out.
So here's this one here's rubber.
Yeah, that one will come off. Same as this. And I have my SOFTT tourniquet in here. I know a lot of people like cat for the reason that it all velcros together nicely. Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that. In a real emergency, you're going to lose those fine motor gross skills, and it's going to be really hard to deal with that velcro. I don't have that problem with this. It gets sloppy. I open it up, I slide it on, and away I go.
Yeah, so I find it's the big thing on the cat is you really got to stage it, right? Like you can definitely open it like with the just at least a little bit. So this is how I just have to stage on this one, but
yeah.
To fit my my leg there, but like I could at least get it over easily.
Oh, for sure.
On my leg or my arm, whatnot. So I think a big part of it is I've seen people stage it in a way where if you do this, it's gonna still stay together, and you really have to pry it apart. That's where that's
where I disagree with.
Yeah, like if you stage it properly, absolutely, I would. I prefer cat, but the soft T is great for that, where it's a little more forgiving on how you're staging it to allow you to,
I will say it does not look as pretty as the cat. It really doesn't, but both are absolutely great tools. I carry the cat in all of my bags. I have extra ones in my car. I think it was a matter of, hey, I wanted to buy a tourniquet case for my belt, and this was the only one they had available at the time, so I ended up buying the SOFTT. I think that was my situation, but both are absolutely great tourniquets.
Yeah, I mean, they're none of them are bad choices for sure. Out of those two, just carry a tourniquet. Please carry a damn tourniquet when you're working. It's very important.
Moving to the front here, I have another Zactool case. On here, I specifically carry two what I think are important things. I have a 120 gig USB drive here. Great for throwing on, training programs, extra reports that I can use for training, PowerPoints and whatnot. So this is just filled with all kinds of training resources. And a lot of people laugh at this, but it's a very handy little tool. It's an Acme Thunder. This is like a legit police tool. I've actually used this a lot more than I thought I would. I can think of a specific situation. I was working at a college about 5 or 6 years ago, and we had a crowd management situation. So myself and a bunch of other guards, we sort of spread out along a big line, creating a fence. I stood in the center and I told the guys to march forward. We marched forward as a line, and I was blowing the whistle to create noise, to create stress. And guess what? Our crowd dispersed. It worked. I'd taken a training course through the Toronto Police on public management and crowd management, and that was something they taught. Good program. Now, the last piece of my gear, these are my primary handcuffs. I showed these off the other week. These are ASP forged cuffs, identifier cuffs, whatever you want to call them. Great tool. Let me show you one thing. I know I mentioned it. Let me show you what I don't like about these. So you'll see, goes around really nicely. I love that. I've double locked them. The problem is they don't double lock that well. This one does. I think it's this cuff. There it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not supposed to do that. Now, I will say I had to really depress it to make that happen. But I haven't had that problem with any other Peerless or Smith & Wesson handcuffs. I have had that problem with ASP. So,
Interesting.
food for thought, guys.
Yeah.
Food for thought. It's still double locked. So.
Yeah, I gotta try that on mine later. I want to see if it'll do that. If it's maybe you just got a bad set, or maybe they all have that issue. Because that would...
I hope that's all it is just a bad set. But I mean, I've used them many times. They work really well. Keep in mind, the double lock is to prevent them from locking up further, and usually that happens with handcuff being in there and people rotating their wrist. That's where you're going to get that. I think you would be really, really challenged to create that situation with the wrist movement with this, despite it not working right.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I really had to give it force to make that happen. So, and that's the other thing with gear, right? We all carry gear outside of our duty belts. Things like watches, pocket knives, cell phones. So what do you carry sort of outside of your generic duty belt gear there, John?
Well, as some of you know, I'm a huge watch nerd, so I nerd. So this is an off-duty watch. It's my Timex Expedition Scout, one of my very many watches. But for work, I wear specifically my 4th gen Apple Watch. It's I don't feel the need to get the 6th gen or whatever is out right now. I have the 4th gen. It works fine for me. I absolutely love it simply because first off, I'll start off that anyone working security should wear a watch. I don't care if it's this. I don't care if it's this. I don't care if it's I don't know, whatever it is, right? If you need to know the time for a lot of situations, part of it is you have to write reports, you have to note the time and stuff, and it's really important to know the time when you're dealing with situations. I know a lot of people are like, well, I could just check the time on my phone. Wow, a lot of notifications. Okay, you can just check the time on my phone. It's like, well, imagine you're in a situation, and not like if someone's like right in front of you yelling at you, because then would also not be a good time to just be like, and then just suddenly get like punched in the face. But say you're in a situation where your hands are kind of full, but you're like, I don't know, police just showed up on site. I want to know what time it is right now. Instead of pulling this out and being in a situation where something happens, you're like, bleh. Also, it's 2021. I get it. Everyone's connected now. Everyone's got their phones. Everyone's got their Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. By the way, if you don't use LinkedIn, I highly recommend it, especially for networking and professional networking. You get notifications. Sometimes some teams have a like a team chat with like bolos going out, right?
Yep.
So Apple Watches, or any smartwatch really, but I'm an Apple fanboy. iPad, another one, iPhone, AirPods somewhere. Yeah. So, smartwatches are sort of the new way to go for sure. Check your
Absolutely.
notification. Right here. Hold on. Let me just quickly unlock this. So, I personally use this one here. So it shows me the UV index here. I've got the weather, the temperature, my my activity rings, which right now I've not
I got
worn.
the same one.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I have not worn this one today, so my activity rings show that I have not moved at all. The date, heart rate, all that stuff, battery. But you've got a lot of information on your wrists there, right? You're getting notifications. It's a bolo. I've got texts from partners before where we're just discreetly communicating, right? So, instead of pulling out my phone, reading it, I'm just looking at it real quick. Obviously, the time is very important. And if you work at a site where you're walking around a lot, why not get the extra steps in, right?
Absolutely. No, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I also have an iWatch. I'm not as big of an Apple fanboy as some people in the group, but I'm trying Apple out. I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would, but phone contract will hopefully be next summer, and I'll be back into a Google Pixel before I know it. Yeah. Shake your head. Yeah. But no, I wholeheartedly agree. The Apple Watch is a fantastic tool. It allows me to be discreet while I'm out on patrol. I get a notification. I just quickly glance down at the watch, bring it into my head, and away I go, right?
Again, it's an optics thing too, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're looking at the watch or you're looking at your phone, one looks better than the other, right?
Yeah.
All it takes is someone just snapping a photo and being like, "Oh, his guard's on his phone." Yeah, you may have pulled it out for 30 seconds, but when you have a still photo, they can just hold that up for however long it looks.
That's right.
This,
That's right.
You might be reading something, right? I'm not going to tell you to just go and read and browse off whatever, but if you do, it looks way better.
Yeah.
Another thing I recommend,
Absolutely.
I have this in a, so I'll pop this out real quick. So obviously it's the Apple Watch here. I have this in a little buffer case. I bought this, I don't remember how much. I think it's around $20 off Amazon. Super cheap. This is what I wear my Apple Watch in exclusively when I'm working. And one of the reasons why, the main reasons why, is it's got this little lip that sort of extends over the edge of the screen, and I can bump it on stuff, and I'm not worried about my screen cracking. I've had other coworkers with that have had their screen crack before. Yeah, it's I don't find my Apple Watch I don't enjoy my Apple Watch as much as like I enjoy like my other watches, but I'll still cry a bit if this were to crack, right?
Same.
So yeah,
I'm willing to put this in harm's way compared to like my Citizen Skyhawk.
Yeah.
But I'd be not very happy if that smashed into pieces. And I mean, I say that as somebody who just has it in the plain old Apple strap.
Yeah, $20 off, around $20 off Amazon. Don't regret it at all. Absolutely love it. Plus, since I did not get a black Apple Watch, it sort of helps it go with the aesthetic aside from the
That's a great piece of kit.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, knife.
Yep.
If you're allowed to carry one, I know some companies have a policy against it. So this here is a CRKT LCK. Very nice. Actually, a gift from a friend of mine. So so it's free also, which was nice. But very very nice knife. Another thing, just carry with you, your wallet, right?
Yep.
Make sure you've got your security license. Make sure you've got you're doing mobile, your driver's license, anything that you're required to carry when you're working. Things that are smart to carry as well. If you have speaking Ontario health terms, I don't know what it is on the other provinces, but if you have your health card, carry your health card. Carry anything.
Driver's license.
Yeah, driver's license, of course. Obviously, if you're doing armed, carry your PAL, right? Very, very.
ETT. Yep.
Yeah. So, your notebook, extremely important. I've seen guards that have never even touched their notebook before, and I don't understand how they're employed, to be honest. But this is very, very important. I recommend getting also a notebook band, which helps. I'm not going to open my notebook because it's actually my work one and probably has some private information on there. But get a notebook band. It helps sort of keep bookmarked on where things are, and
yeah, you'll sort of notice there when John opened the book, there was pages sort of dangling at the top. When you open the book, yeah, there it is. It's opening on the current page, so you don't have to flip through your book to figure out where you are.
There's a blank page there. Yeah, so you've got the. I'll make it easier to. There we go. I'm not showing anything. So yeah,
There you go.
you open it up. There you go. You've got, and this is a triform notebook, of course. It's hard to see with the light, but there's lines there, and it's really the only notebook I use, the triform for sure. So yeah, definitely carry your notebook, carry your watch, carry your knife. Just some people on their vest, they do carry an IFAK like Brad does, so that's also a very good thing to carry. Flashlights, even like in my duty bag, I've got like random things like this here is a little UV 511 UV light. I do not recommend you look into hotel rooms with this. You'll be absolutely mortified.
I always enjoy doing that. Public restrooms, gas station restrooms, hotel rooms.
You feel like losing your appetite? Is that what it is? Or?
Sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good diet right there.
It's like the show Fear Factor.
Yeah. I should do that as a diet. Just like, I'm hungry. Hold on. Just got to stop by the nearest Petro-Canada. Just,
Yeah.
Do you eat anything?
There you go.
Our ship? Not at all.
No.
Having worked in loss prevention before and having dealt with fake documents, fake currency and stuff like that, this was also really nice. I'm weirdly fascinated with counterfeit stuff and just like the sort of fraud behind it. So like I like sort of learning that stuff. Probably helps that also I freelance as a prop maker for small movie productions. So, but yeah, it's a neat thing to have for sure. And what else do you got with you?
Well, usually when I'm working, I like to have my Spectra lined Hatch Friskmasters for searching people.
Yeah.
I've talked about gloves in the past. I know a lot of people will go and buy the turtle skin ones. Now, I'm not poo-pooing on turtle skin. They're an okay glove, but I believe context is very important. And I think a lot of people don't understand what they need when they're working a frontline assignment like we are, whether it's security, law enforcement, or policing. This glove will protect the entirety of my hand, including my wrist. Many of those turtle skin ones are simply just going to protect your fingertips and provide a little bit of protection inside of the palm. Yeah. That's great if you're working in a correctional environment where you're, really intently searching people. This is much more effective for protection when you're actually searching a person in a field setting. These are great if you have to hop over a fence. They're going to protect you. I know I hopped over a fence one time, had these guys on. This is a newer glove, but I had an older pair on. It actually cut and tore the glove. And if I didn't have these on, I probably would have had to go get a tetanus shot. So great piece of gear. Like John, I always have a pocket knife on me. Now, I like to rotate through my knives on a regular basis. I'm very much into EDC. If you want to check out Pathfinder Tactical, that's my EDC brand.
Honestly, probably one of the best patches I've ever seen. Just the best looking design.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. It's hard to see, but there's like sort of topographical ridges here. And
they glow in the dark.
Glow in the dark. It's really, really cool. I can see it right now, but I know if I point it back to the light, you're not going to see it. But
yeah.
Really neat.
I usually carry one of several different pocket knives, either my Benchmade Griptilian. I know I showed this off the other week. A nice G10 scale handle, gives a nice, decent grip, deep carry pocket clip. I like lanyards. They're great. They are what they are. And I like knives that have a little spidey hole. Allows me to open them very quickly. I often carry my Spyderco PM3. This is a very, very rare special edition one. I don't actually carry this one, but I wanted to show it off. But same idea. It's just the right size. It's not too big. It's not too small. And it's great for cutting things out in the field, whether it be boxing or...
I'm loving the paracord behind it, underneath it, attached to it. Jeez. Paracord. I like paracord.
Yeah.
Apparently I don't know how to talk.
I know I showed this one off the other week too. This is my ZT0301. Again, paracord. I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan. Like, I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan. You have no idea. The little thing on there is actually the Hylian shield.
Yes.
It's hard to see on camera, but it's a Hylian shield bead. This one's a frame lock, so titanium scale on the side there locks the guy up.
I didn't know you were a Legend of Zelda fan. We gotta talk after this.
Bro, massive Zelda fan. I'm a Zelda nerd.
I want to get a replica of the Master Sword, just
Same
right
with
just
the shield.
with the shield. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a playlist on my Spotify of Zelda tunes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just to quickly show people how much of a EDC nerd I am. This is going to look weird, but I am going to move the camera. That cabinet there is absolutely filled to the brim with flashlights, multi-tools, pocket knives, tactical gear, you name it. As are the two filing cabinets down here. They're just filled to the brim with various tools, knives. And so, if you're looking for gear reviews, and under that table, I have probably 25 different 511 bags of various types, several 911 duty bags. I'm a gear guy. I love my gear.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about or show off with gear? Or I think we've geared out.
I think I've kind of hit all my bases. I'm kind of looking around to see if I missed anything, but like I said, I can go on and on and on when it comes to gear, duty bags, and stuff, and I know we'll dive into all that stuff. So I think I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode, episode 4 of the security, episode 5 of the Security Pod. If you have any questions or any topic suggestions, this topic here, actually, we did a poll, and this is sort of what everyone seemed to want. So this is that's why we're doing it. But if you have any topic suggestions, you could either send us a message or send us an email at cspnconnect@gmail.com. We're really enjoying doing these episodes. You're going to see a small difference in the format. I actually don't know how long we've been running so far on this episode, but we're trying to do just the main topic on the Security Pod, and then all the other stuff you
shorten everything,
because I understand 2 hours can be a little bit much to ask for someone to watch us for, and I get it. Trust me, when I'm editing it, a 2 hour long video, it drives me nuts. So all the other stuff you saw, the video reviews, the gear, story time, those are going to be in separate videos. So that way, if there's a certain aspect of the show that you prefer to watch, then that way you're not sort of skimming through or getting through all this 2 hours of stuff you might not be interested in to get to what you want. So, obviously, I don't know about you, Brad, but I've never done a podcast before. So this isn't the learning curve for both of us. So we're just, things are getting better. I look back at episode 1, I think it's kind of terrible, sort of in just the execution.
Oh, absolutely. I think we've come a long way in it's been 5 weeks now. I think we've come a long way in our 5 weeks. And I think we're going to continue to grow. My ask to our community, let us know what you think. I want to hear what you guys have to say about these episodes. I almost wonder, is there anybody here that was like, oh, I actually enjoyed watching the 2.5 hour episode? I mean,
if you do, to each your own. I mean,
yeah, let us know. And not to say that we're gonna go back to that. I think a shorter format is a better idea, and it gives us the opportunity to film more often, even.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Providing you guys a little bit more content rather than one big piece of content once a week.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's what I look forward to. So.
Yeah.
All right. So this has been episode 5 of the Security Pod. I thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.
Knew it. I took it.
Yes.